And buttons to choose. All right. So this is pretty amazing. So again, I'm looking up for Instagram, but welcome everyone. This is the target audience series. This is the number one, the first one, number one of the 5-part series. So I'll be coming live every single day this week as I am also preparing for the webinar that's in 10 days, right? As a webinar going on in 10 days. If you haven't already, head over to digitaldreambusiness.com and register for that webinar. So Instagram, you won't be able to see my pages, but I have YouTube over here. So I'll be sharing my screen. I'll be sharing my screen with YouTube. All right. So all right. And boop, 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 boop. YouTube. So you see here, you head on over to digitaldreambusiness.com and you'll see the webinar right here. And that is where you can register for the webinar. If you scroll down, you can choose everything digital, which are my free things, gifts to you, and the courses that are coming soon, which will be linked to this webinar. And let me get back to me over here. All right, so that is, there we are. That is it. So when you head on over there, that's where that is. So that is a good thing. And when you do, all you'll have to do is enlighten yourself and fill in this information. Where are we at? It is, all right. So let me, okay, there we are. Let me see. There we are. So when you are, after you choose to live on the webinar, then this is what you will be seeing. You'll come over here. It's a 1-minute video, which is also over on digitaldreambusiness.com here on the website. You can find it. It's a minute long and it's just talking about the course. And you just register. And again, it is Thursday at 10 a.m. All right. And actually, it is 9 days. You got 9 days. All right. So let's go ahead and get started with this target audience. So I put together a digital product here. It is 10 websites to help you find your target audience. And it is free. So when you head on over to digitaldreambusiness.com, if you head on, if you visit the shop tab here, you will be able to see it here. And again, it is free. Click on it, add it to your cart, and you are good to go. All right. And it's nothing right there. So that is that. Let me get out of this. All right, there we are. So let us go ahead and get started. Now we are at number one for the target audience series. All right. And I'll be helping you navigate through starting your online business. And it is amazing because with everything that's happening in the market now, did you know there are over 365 businesses that have already closed down this year? So can you imagine? These are big, large corporate businesses. So can you imagine having your own business and it's digital and it's online and it's thriving and moving? We're already past the or in the communication age, the technology age. This is what everything is. The millennial has changed with the millennials being 25 to 40 years old now. So it's like, hey, this is what they're used to. They want something quick. They want something fast. They don't need their hands held. But if you look into maybe moving into the 45 to 70-year-old age bracket with your niche, then that might be something that you need to reconsider on how you target your audience. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So we'll look into those elements today. It'll be demographics, but the series does entail, see if I can pull that up right quick for you. The psychographics, I'll talk about the psychographics, the behaviors, the pain points and challenges, and the market research techniques. So that is what I'll be talking about during this series. But for one, right now, let's get into some demographics with the age. Now, when it comes to looking at the potential customer's age, it's a fundamental demographic, first of all, because it's a basis. Like, who is your audience, right? And the different age groups varies, so that means that their needs vary, right? That their preferences vary, that their purchasing behaviors vary, right? So if you're selling digital courses online to a younger audience, you definitely have to hit it harder with technical savvy stuff, right? More digital, online, quick learning, right? E-learning, something they can click through real fast, something they can do on their digital phones, right? While older audiences, as I stated earlier, you have to do the more traditional. You might have to have a hard copy book, give them something tangible. You might have to hand hold the hand holding techniques for them, meaning step by step, and definitely doing the visuals as sharing your screen, one-on-ones, preferably for that age group as well, not so much online. Although Zoom and those video calls do help with that age group. But for the younger groups, you can just hit it out faster, right? So that is that one for that one. Let's go on to gender. Now, gender is, let's see, if you do it more, when you hit the gender market here, you are generally targeting men and women, and then we have so many other genders out there, so I've heard, right? But we're going to stick with the male and female persona. So, and it looks like I have not been live on Instagram. Okay. So, all right. So I'm not live on Instagram, but okay, they'll see it later. So, all right. So when it comes to the age, the gender, you're looking at the men and the women, and you're like, they're different interests and preferences, right? So, for an example, if you're doing a fitness app, but you decide to do more targeting to muscle strength and building, then that might target to men. But if you do like yoga, stretching, wellness, or mental health and issues like that, you target more females, right? So that allows you, and knowing your audience and knowing your the gender, who you are going for, it determines the type of marketing that you will actually be doing for your audience, right? So to me, with this platform here, Digital Dream Business, it's to aspiring entrepreneurs, stay at home. And I used to say stay at home moms. Now I say stay at home parents, people's living on your couches, people in transitioning who are transitioning. They may be sleeping on your couch and visiting that aunt that came and never left, right? Or even your parents if they are there. So, it says you stay at home partners. It doesn't matter who you are. This digital business is for you. And I start with the basics. I don't start where you already need to know or have anything to start with. All you have to have is the will to start, the mindset to start, and that is it. All right. So, but always with that gender, be gender specific, narrow it down to gender specificity if you can, if it's something that can be narrowed. Now, me with gender, my market is starting an online business. Yes, it's to start at home, stay at home parents, but it's um, aspiring entrepreneurs, those who want to do something different, add an extra income, those who don't have an income and they're just lounging around. They're always on their phone or they're always on their computer. They're always online. So while you're online, why not create products, put them on a platform and make some money while you're on there, right? So that's my target audience. So it's not so much as gender specific, but if yours is, it's something to take into account. All right. Next is location. And I added location simply because I was actually watching a video for someone I was watching a video of someone who had watched a video on how to build a home, a cabin, a structure in the woods, right? But what got me was the platform, the way that they were structuring their building, right? I watch a lot of building. One day I plan on buying some land and moving out there and just building something, right? But so that is what I do in my downtime. I watch how to build, right? I like construction stuff, right? So a DIY type stuff, right? With my own hands. So I was watching the gentleman, but he was in a colder climate. But the information that he received was from a warmer climate. So he was building. He started to build his platform and his shelter, his home, where he lives in the where they have brutal winters. But he was following the advice of someone who lives in a more warmer climate, who doesn't deal with that harsh weather, the snow and type of environment, right? So his house end up, that foundation was not according to how he needed to build it with the specs that he had for his community. Now, where he was living and building was in the woods, so he didn't have any rules and regulations pretty much to follow. So he was going off the YouTube video, another video that he saw, and it just didn't line up. So that's why I say location, right? So right now my products are digital products. They can be made, created anywhere in the world and sold behind the scenes, after hours, 24 hours a day, right? But localizing your market can make your marketing more effective, because if you're doing like time zones and stuff like that, if you live, okay, so say if I wanted to do my target audience, I wanted to hit the markets in Africa. Well, I need to be up and ready for a time when they are up and ready. What are their times? What are their morning times? Like I do 10 a.m. I do morning lives here on in the US, right? But what time will I need to be up in the morning to hit Africa in the morning, right? So that is something that's something to be considered, because if you're doing and if the United Kingdom community wanted to cater to us in the US, what time do they need to be up to cater to us, to do their lives or to post their content online so it can be ready for the US market, right? So if you are doing a cooking show and you're in Africa, but you're targeting Americans on cooking, then you need to pay attention to what is in American kitchens, as well as the time that those who cook here generally, what time they come on, if you're going to go live, or you want to make sure that your videos are present during that time. So you need to find ingredients and kitchen stuff and foods that cater here, but you're in Africa catering to a US market, right? So it has to be relatable and accessible. So the next one is income level. Understanding the financial situation of your target audience helps you. For myself, I have different communities set up, and I have different degrees, different certifications, right? But if you're targeting a market that is primarily hangs out on LinkedIn and not YouTube, then you need to be over there, right? Because if you're in your target audience income, let's say I decided one of my businesses was that I did not push forward with or spend or give it enough time. I didn't nurture it enough. Was I titled it Broke to Kingdom Financier. And that word broke in there, I realized I did not need to have a business with broke in there. So I changed it to blessed. But I was targeting, let me see here. Sorry, guys. I am going to change this up. All right. So I was targeting broke Christians, right? So, all right. So I was targeting broke Christians per se, meaning those Christians who actually have been told, prophesied to believe that they are the trendsetters and the generational curse breakers in their family, who are going to be that financial success for their family, right? So that was my audience. But I started out with the wrong title, simply because, yes, I was targeting the broke Christians who needed to make that change and work and put their faith together through actions and principles, right? Actionable steps and principles to build their wealth and change their family outcome. But saying, you know, targeting broke people, meaning I needed to make sure the content that I had on my site was a lot of freebies because they're broke. They need the information to grow, to learn. I needed to have something more tangible in their price, their income brackets, right? I needed to be, let me see, more accessible in my coaching, because starting with someone from scratch like here, I have to be more accessible. But the ones who are more advanced and are able to continue and move forward and only have those coaching questions later, they don't need me as much. They don't need you as much. But starting out, they will, right? So when you have premium products, you're not trying to market premium products, right? You're not trying to market your $997 dollar products or your $3,000 or $5,000 products to your target audience of broke Christians, right? That is something that I did incorrectly. The concept was there, but the logical and the thinking, I had to go about it differently. So I did not continue nurturing that business, or that community. But it just took a lot out of me, and I learned a lot. Like, hey, I don't need to call them broke or call them blessed, but it's targeting a certain community. So I needed to put that in my lead magnets, and I had to put that out to my audience. So that's an example. When you think about the income level of your target audience, you think about their income, right? You think about affordable options for them. Now, if you're doing all premium and high ticket sales, then you need to target more people who hang out in communities and networks and stuff like that, and that'll be great for LinkedIn, or so forth, right? So if you're doing a subscription, for another example, if you're doing a subscription based service software, then you create different pricing tiers, right? And that's something too when you're starting, like me, with this, with starting to teach from business from the ground up. I know I'm going to get a lot of beginners because that is who my target audience is, and who need that extra income, looking for that extra income, but don't have that extra time. So I have different tiers that I am placing on, and you will learn more about them in the webinar. That starts in 9 days, right? You'll have a basic plan for the income. You have the basic plan for your entry level, and then you tier up to your high ticket items, right? Also with the educational level. Now, this is the last one we're going to talk about, is the educational level. Is the it determines how you create your product. Now, when you create your product, if you're dealing with someone who has a couple of degrees, or corporate office, high level CEOs and things like that, then you can do the complex products, right? You can use if your target audience is very niche down to such a market where you can use the language in the general language and the slang of the community. Because if you're dealing with digital products, or you're dealing with the business, and you're back to cooking, right? Then you talk about ingredients and measuring cups and things like that. You use the basic terminology that a cup of flour, and how, you don't have to break it all down. But if you're dealing with beginners on how to start cooking, you might have to say cup and 8 ounces. And, you have to break it down to the minutest form of measuring. And then you have to think about what market location as well, because if you're thinking about talking about construction, think about it. If we use inches and centimeters over here, where the other countries use the other metrics. They generally use meters, right? So they do it. They speak differently in there. But when you niche down and you're with your audience, and their influence is greater in knowledge, then you use the words that come with the territory. But you're starting out from the beginning, you're definitely going to have to detail down that information for the less formal educated, right? But definitely, those that's knowing your target audience. So for example, with digital marketing, your audience consists of marketing professionals with advanced degrees. Then you can use all that technical jargon. Like when someone comes to me and they want to learn how to build websites or create websites, use templates and stuff like that, then yes, I actually will send them, I can talk that jargon with them when they say, hey, I've already did it over here. Or maybe I used Wix before or Shopify, or I got a little knowledge. So they're a little more intermediate, not so basic. Then I'll just use the jargon. Okay, we'll go over here to your back office, click here, do this, do this, do this, find your settings and look for it over here, right? But when you start with the basics, and starting from the bottom up, what do? You start with the hand holding. You start with the videos of the technical side, and you're showing the how to side, right? You're showing how to log on, what the screens are going to look like, where to move at. You're going to highlight the steps and where you're clicking on your mouse, right? Those are the things that you're going to be doing when you're dealing with the market of basic or beginners, right? With the basics. But someone who's already in the technical jargon of everything and already know the strategies and the back office and what to do, you move a little faster and you just get to the point and you can say, okay, well, all right, get to this certain screen here, or get over there to the webinar section of your word of the back office, right? But that's with someone who already knows. They're familiar with how to get to their back office. They're familiar where to go, where to look, what to do, how to come up to that section. But if you're with someone who basic, you say, okay, let's log on. We're going to log on. We're going to sign in. And that takes me back to age at the beginning, where if you're dealing with someone 45, 50, to 70, then you might have to just okay, where are you at on your screen now? You ask those questions and you say, where are you at on your screen now? What are you doing right now? What do you see right now? And you say, okay, look on the left-hand side right now, scroll all the way down. No, keep scrolling. You will see it's webinar. Click on it. And when you open it up, you should be right on that dashboard. Now that's called the dashboard. Dashboard is what you see right here. You see all these elements on there. But someone who is already advanced and already know the market or know whatever, they just get there, get to the dashboard of the webinar. That's it. And they know how to get to the dashboard of the webinar. So that is that. When it comes to your audience. And just a bonus here, think about their occupation, right? Think about the occupation of your potential customers, right? Your customer, your clients, right? The daily challenges on what they do every single day. So as an extra here, think about how it benefits them with what you're creating and how you're creating the productivity of your tool, right? So if it's someone who's always at the secretary, always at the job on the computer, then technically they may need to get something real quick, a digital product. They can quickly open up, look at screen, read through, scroll through, and not be distracted, right? Not showing others that what they're doing on their computer screen, they can be actually learning and moving forward. So when you think about their work or their occupation, then that's how you can target them. You say, hey, you're at the computer all day. Why don't you just sit here and read this ebook while you're there? Get the knowledge in, and then you can you can apply later. You can go home and apply it later. Do the technical and application side later, right? So, but if it's someone who's doing construction and they want to start an online business, then of course, scheduling appointments during the middle of the day and they're working 12-hour shifts, that's not going to work. So when you take on those clients as well, or when you're talking to them and teaching them, or you need to answer their questions, then you would definitely have to wait until after hours or on weekends, right? Because they're busy working during the day. Those who have those 9 to 5s or those 6 to 6, those 12-hour days, right? But definitely consider with their occupation, creating content that speaks directly to their needs, right? Products that are more appealing to them, where they can do it on their own time, for construction workers, right? Or those who want to just hit it right out the ballpark, right? And start because they're already at home doing nothing, or they're at the computer sitting all day, right? Just know that no matter what your target audience is, who they are, it is a critical area for you to learn, right? To define your target audience. Write down your dream sheet. Write down who your target audience is. Learn and know, like, who are they? Who am I targeting? Am I targeting stay-at-home parents or construction workers or hairdressers? Who am I targeting, right? What is my business role? What do I want to accomplish? So when you know your end goal, it's easier to get and start at the beginning, right? Just make sure you define your target audience. Stay tuned for the upcoming videos to this series, and tomorrow we'll be doing psychographics, right? So stay tuned for the next episode. And if you found this video helpful, definitely like and subscribe. You're watching it right there. Go ahead on your phone or whatever. Hit it. Like and subscribe. Follow for more. Turn on the notifications so you'll get the so you'll know when I'm live next time. And then don't forget to join the community. I'm going to show you here let me see if I can pull up the community right quick. Okay, so when you go to Digital Dream Business, I do have your Start Your Own Business community over there. You can ask your questions, drop your questions, see what everybody else is saying. Don't forget to join that. And it's like-minded entrepreneurs just like you, right? And you'll get exclusive access to the resources and be the first to know when I drop my new stuff, right? Don't forget, you can follow me over on Instagram at digitaldream.business. Put that dot in between there. And I just want to say thank you for watching, and let's turn your digital dreams into a successful business together. Until next time, guys, don't forget, sign up for that webinar. Log on and head on over to digitaldreambusiness.com. All that'll be down in the description below. All the links are active. Click on them and follow them to IG, the webinar, and the community. And I will see you on the inside. Until next time, guys. Bye.